Hey, Dimitri. So we've got a very first cut of level 3 here. Our scene, kind of our scene 2, if you will, I think. Yeah, it's our scene 2. It's our sort of erotic architecture district, right? So I thought I'd just go ahead and let's play real quick. Yeah. Okay. Let me turn off this music here. Thought I would just do that first. All right. All right. So, love where we're going, right? Obviously, we're still concepting and roughing things out, but you'll also notice a few things where maybe I'll restart this here, and maybe I'll just pause and show you. Oh, I thought I turned that off. Hello, me turning things off. Boink. Check a checkbox, dude. All right. Cool. Yeah, so a couple things. I just put in the black background, so I didn't have the regular skybox parallaxing affecting these manual parallax layers that we have. Also, right off the rip, you'll notice that I something I was thinking about. So I took this asset, the statuary asset, which is amazing, by the way, and I actually just wound up flipping it. Which wasn't what we thought, but we should keep that in mind when we're doing our manual tiles. As long as they can tile left and right seamlessly, we can actually flip them to create more variety using the same asset. So all I did is rotated them by 180, and now we've got a little bit more silhouette variety, which I really enjoyed quite a bit too. I think I still need to adjust some of the like the back buildings. Like these ones here, still in that side of things. That also kind of brings me back to, I think, probably the most salient point, right? So these are all in their parallax layers, which are really cool, right? So just here, because we've named them and we have them in our skybox, it makes it very easy to start to switch them on and off to understand how they look, right? Which I'm really digging. Hey, 5, there we go. And yeah, so the other thing that we suffer through a lot just because is the way that it works in the engine, right? Is that when we have, you'll see here, and I think the parallax speeds feel pretty good. I want your opinion, right? So just again, take a quick look, right? I feel like that's about the right amount of parallax for these bigger planes. I feel like you can see the parallaxing. There's no manual parallax on the very far city plane back here, up in this area. So so yeah, so again, this is just me sort of looking at the art, putting it in, and trying to get a sense for how it's going to look. But I also want you to start thinking like this too, because it also impacts our the way that we think about making our art. I've already put this in the notes too. One of the things is we have our grid, right? So you turn on off the grid, and the grid is grid and snap. Yeah, so the grid is 32 units, right? So, but it's basically, and I think I wrote 128 by 128, but power of two. So we should come back to, hey, is the art we're making power of two? Because it just makes it easier for us to move things around in the world, as opposed to trying to line everything up manually. We can kind of do it that way. But it's a pain in the ass, right? So the other thing is that you'll notice here, it's just like we did in the other levels. So this particular object, I went with a positive 80 on the Y towards the camera to give us the speed. I feel that's pretty good. I don't think we necessarily need to go faster in this case, because it's also an establishing city shot. Maybe we can be a little cheeky and have an extended bridgeway or something. I'm not sure. Could still be all in the background. Anyways, I digress. The point is that when we do a adjustment in the Y, further away from the camera means that parallax is slower. Closer to the camera means that parallax is faster. Then we need to counter scale. So, and if we're counter scaling, well, at that point we're doing it in the engine. So one of the extra tricky things for us is, once we've locked in on what the assets should look like, we're actually just wasting resolution by scaling. So ideally, we will craft our art to get the same screen real estate pixel wise. Then we can remove the scale factors as part of our maturing this manual city parallax layers. So that's one thing I just wanted to cover that with you as well. But that also means that, as you can see, right, what you want, what we've done in the concepts and what I've done, it's a bit of this. It's arts and crafts. Like we're fudging, right? So. And I think and so when we meet this Sunday, we'll definitely, let's sit down and let's do some pixel pushing, right? So, but one of the things I really want to do is I want to unlock parts of this art path for you, because this took me it's about an hour or so to pull it all together and put it in. So, but the assets are in, I'll check them in. Let me see here. A few other things coming back to the art side of things. I love the architecture, love the erotic nature of the architecture. We still have, I think, we're forever having the problem where, when things tend to be completely front on to the camera, and we don't have the ability to kind of build out that fake 3D or shifted geometry, those edges wind up kind of being a bit of an eyesore. They're not all that bad, but it's just something we're also trying to watch out for. You know me, we're still crafting. So, yeah, the other thing that we get from doing these manual parallax layers, by the way, very cool, like a little depth of field edge added here. We've got the glows. I mean, for us, we're really hitting our stride. So super cool. You can obviously see we've got some issues with alpha, of course. But one of the things that we do have at our disposal, I need to come back to, by the way, I love these glowing chains. These glowing chains are amazing. Look at this frame, this frame shot. I love what is going on right here. This is so freaking cool, right? I love that our six-armed, furry deity erotic statue thing is kind of framed in between our bridges. Very, very cool. I think in our concepts, it's a hard one because we still have a few. I might actually adjust this. I might pull this up a little bit. We'll see. But I love the advertising, as we've been working on the brands. It's really nice that we've been working on the brands and the city, and taking this last month or so to really explore and ideate through this. I think is really it's showing for our first version compared to where we were when we're crafting parts of level 2 and even level 1. This is showing that we've really hit our stride there. So something we should just keep in mind for our art, of course, and what that looks like. Yeah, so I think this is enough to get us going, and then we'll figure out what the transition looks like into the more closer city shots and what that looks like, right? Which is what we're starting to see right here. But dude, yay us, yay fucking us. All right, if you're following along and watching these videos and you're enjoying them, thank you. By the way, people have been kind of losing their minds about the the erotic architecture, the sexuality, the detail and story that's part of this world, right? feel free to leave your comments down in the description. This is the time for it because it's in time while we're working on it. And you never know. Like, we read everything, we respond, and we talk about it in our weekly art meetings. So with that, I'll leave you with this little sneak peek. Holy moly, chicken frittoli. I don't even know what that is, but I love it. Bye, everybody.